Hey guys, we're going to be talking about our Kickstarter, Cosmos Empires. So yeah, this is a prototype box. This is how the final product's going to be. And in here we've got your 16 dice, 2d4s, all your cards, and obviously these are already sleeved. They won't come sleeved in the box, but you'll be getting your 84 cards plus 100 sleeves, and that should all fit in a box like this nicely. So
it's incredibly small. I first saw the box today, and I'm quite impressed by how tidy this little package is.
With the game, you get a cheat sheet which tells you all the quantities of each card in the deck, and different extra information like the chance on their roll and little tips for strategies and things like that.
Can you tell us about the game?
So basically, for those who haven't seen how the game plays, this is an engine building game.
So an engine building game, that's like a game where you get your cards together and then they start comboing together and they like build faster and faster and earn you more and more money because of the combos you've got.
Exactly. So the main mechanic is each turn, players will roll the dice and roll 2 d4s, and depending on the total is there, if say the total is 3, if they have a card with a roll value of 3, they will get production equal to their production value. In the case of the world chip, if someone rolls a total of 3, then anyone who owns this card will be getting 4 credits.
It's kind of like, you guys probably know Settlers of Catan, where you have like, if you have a city on a 3 place and someone rolls a 3, then you get the money. And this is the same thing. You have a card, and no matter who rolls a 3 or a 4 on the dice or whatever, if you have a card that says that number, then you're going to earn.
So there's a twist though. Every turn we have 2 actions. If you're playing 5 or more players, that's 3 actions. But in general, it's 2. And you can do 3 things with those actions. One of the things you can do is after you roll, you can use an action to change your die roll.
Yeah, right.
So unlike Settlers, it's not set and it's not completely random.
Yeah.
What the other players in the game have matters. So you've got to pay attention to what people have and what they don't have, especially because you don't want to be giving people money. Now, the other 2 things you do with your actions is you either build cards, which there's a little cost up here, and that's how many credits it costs, or you can cycle a card and get 2 credits. It's just something to do if you can't build anything or you don't want to change your die roll.
You get 2 actions every turn, but then you end up getting these additional actions that you can keep using. Like you get a fabricator belt, and suddenly each turn you're doing your 2 actions, but then you're also building a mech, or you get your deep space scouts, and then you get your 2 actions, and you do a cycle, and it becomes these kind of extra tools that like your turn looks different to other people's turns.
Yeah. The game is fairly fast. You play until the win condition is 30 production, so that means once someone hits 30 total production among their cards, then the game continues until the last player finishes their turn, and then whoever has the most production wins.
Yeah,
and this ramps up fairly fast. It's usually for 4 players, it's like a 20-minute game usually. So it's pretty fast. Among your cards, you have a bunch of like vanilla cards, and then you have your combos. So there's a couple of different ways your cards can combo. So one example is Transit Hub here. The way this card works is its production is equal to the number of different roll values you have.
So once you've got like one card earning on every number, maybe your strategy is all spread out, but you get that Transit Hub and suddenly everything is working together to make that Transit Hub stronger.
Exactly. And another example is Ancient Gate. So this card's production is equal to the highest set you have of the same card. So if you're 3 of one card, it becomes a 3. And like a decent combo with Ancient Gates is if you get 2 or 3 of them early, like even 3, if you manage to get 3 Ancient Gates early, then that's 9 production on a 7, which is a lot. So there's a lot of small combos like that you can watch out for, but also your opponent should watch out for, because you're all building from the same build pool. You can see what everyone else can get and what's coming next.
Sometimes if there's something in that build pool that your opponent really wants, you could buy it first, or you can just stop them from getting it by cycling.
It's very interactive in that way.
There's other combos which are less conventional. One of the ones I like, which I tried experimenting with, I don't think I've won with it yet, but there's a card in there called Seraph Gate, which is, it allows you to change your roll for free instead of having to use your action, which means that every turn you can just shift that roll a little bit more. And what happens is that if you get 2 Seraph Gates, suddenly, like, most rolls that you could roll, you can change them to your optimal thing. So let's say you really build up that 5, and then on your turn, if you roll a 3, or a 4, or a 5, or a 6, or a 7, you can use your 2 Seraph Gates to shift that to your big 5. And suddenly now, on your turn, you can ensure like a massive income, and suddenly you're incentivized to buy cards that really focus your earnings on like 1 or 2 really good roll values. In all of the tests we've done, what's the most anyone has won by?
So I think our current record is 48 points, 48 production.
I was not in that game.
Yeah, that was a really big one, and that one was won by a bio player actually, going full 3 Yggdrasils and going full bio.
Yeah,
Which is difficult to do, but if you can get it, you can really pop
That's
off.
like the ramp that like takes a long time to ramp up, but when it does, because you need to find all those bios and you need to find all those Yggdrasils, but once you do, it just skyrockets.
Yeah, exactly. It's hard to do if other people are blocking you. And that's why usually bios are good to come in a bit later in the game, so you get some good cards which will give you income, and then if you manage to get the bios, you can go fully into them.
Yeah.
But the next highest record was someone who managed to get 3 transit hubs with a full board. So that, I think they got like 44 or 42. That was our next highest record.
And I always forget about Transit Hub, because if you have all these diffuse cards that you don't think are really comboing with anything, you've got like, you know, a Merv or 2, you've got a World Ship, you've got a Nebula Whale, and then bam, Transit Hub. Now everything is working because those are all different roll values.
Yeah,
and they're all comboing into that Transit Hub.
We've had plenty of wins with the Collective is also another interesting card. It's not often used, especially since there's only 3 copies in the deck. Most cards have 5 or 7 copies, but there's been a couple of runaway wins with someone managing to plan out their pairs very well and then grabbing a Collective.
Well, thanks so much for talking about this, Martin, and we really hope you guys enjoy the game when you get your hands on it.